back at Halifax Harbour looking at the parade of sail. And you mentioned Spirit of Massachusetts a few moments ago out of Boston, Massachusetts, and now we get a close-up look at Spirit.
That's right. Spirit is a replica vessel. She was built in 1984. She's a wooden vessel, and a fishing vessel like Blue Nose and Gazella. She was built patterned after Fredonia, which was a well-known design of a vessel in the latter part of the 19th century, designed by Edward Burgess. She was one of these what they call fast and able vessels that used to fish out of Gloucester and various other ports in Massachusetts on the Grand Banks, and then bring their catch back to port. One of the things I like about Spirit, besides being a wooden vessel, is she has a smell of a traditional wooden vessel. I was on board yesterday, and they had just tarred some of the deck, and you could smell the pine tar, and that really the smell of a ship is something that a lot of people talk about when they sail on some of these old vessels, and especially and this is a very beautiful vessel, and she's been here a number of times before. She was here for the parade of sail before, and it does the same for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts as Blue Nose 2 does for Nova Scotia, and is also operated by the Ocean Classroom Foundation. So their students spend semesters at sea, and they live and work as sailors while they study maritime history, maritime literature, and natural history as well.
It's a thrilling adventure for them. If you read any of the diaries that the students write after they've been out, they talk about the challenges and the difficulties, but all of them seem to suggest that it's an experience they wouldn't swap, even though it can be a little bit rough going out there sometimes.
Well, testimonies of the cadets who go on these vessels is I think the greatest marketing tool that these organizations have.
We're going to join Laurie Graham now, who's down in the crowds. Hi, Laurie.
Hey, Linda, I'm down here with all of the crowd enjoying the ships, and as we know, this is not the first tall ships to Nova Scotia, but for ch6 it is. He's a new immigrant to Canada, been in Nova Scotia only a year, so it's your first time seeing the tall ships. What do you think?
I like tall ship show. Yeah, it's very beautiful. Before, I never saw it.
You never saw it before?
Yes.
What have you liked most?
I like Blue Nose.
Yes.
Because it represents Nova Scotia and Canada.
And you've enjoyed the history, I guess. What about the crowds? I mean, you're coming down here for the first time. Are you surprised by the crowds of people?
Yes, because I think every Nova Scotia like the tall ship show.
Yes, yes.
Everybody enjoy it. Very happy.
Yeah, you notice everybody's very happy.
Yes.
Well, I hope you continue to enjoy it. Thank you for talking with me.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Linda, you can hear the crowds as ships are going by. People are just having such a wonderful time down here. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Laurie. And it has been a great time here this afternoon. We have more ships on the way. This is Tenacious from the United Kingdom. It's a very special ship. It's owned by the Jubilee Sailing Trust Limited. And David, it's used to promote the integration of both able-bodied and physically disabled sailors.
That's right. The crew is divided almost equally in half. So you have partners, you have able-bodied and disabled or challenged people. People in wheelchairs are able to get around the ship. They'll be able to go below. They'll be able to move around on the deck, and they're even able to go up into the yards as well.
We actually had a chance to take a tour aboard Tenacious, and had a chance to find out a little bit more about how the ship works. Here's a look.
Hello there. I'm Carol, and welcome on board our ship. I'm the medical officer, and this is Tenacious, wonderful ship. One of the very simple things which are just on the deck space for poorly sighted people or even blind people is this simple strip of wood, which you'll see carries all the way around the decks. So somebody with poor vision can feel their way and get some idea of spatial awareness. Also on deck, you've probably noticed these little silvery, funny things. They're actually fixtures on the deck to fix wheelchairs during rough weather. Over here is a lift, simple lift, which takes people in wheelchairs or people with walking problems from one level to another. As you can see, we have up in the yards is a first platform. We encourage people who are able to go up there on their own, but the people in wheelchairs would also like to experience that sense of height at sea. So when we come alongside like we are today, people who are in their wheelchairs are pulled up by their buddies along the deck, and they sit up here, and this is, for many people, is one of the highlights of the trip. We are now on the bridge, and this is the part where everybody in the watch gets to helm the ship, whatever their ability. And you can just imagine being at sea, holding onto this fantastic steering wheel and steering out. Those people who are blind and are unable to see or read the course, we have an audio compass which speaks out the course to the person on the helm. We're now coming up to the forecastle head and the bowsprit. I can remember or recall a guy who suffered with epilepsy. The pair of us were up here and we're just talking about life, and he said, this is the first week of my life because I've been allowed to be free and live as I want to without being wrapped up in cotton wool. And this ship has that unique thing that it does for both disabled and able-bodied people. It's equality of life, it's the freedom, allowed to take risks, allowed to have challenges, and you can't better that. It's been a pleasure having you all on board Tenacious. It is a ship, one in a million, and it's life-changing.
The Jubilee Sailing Trust that owns Tenacious has actually been in operation for about 25 years, David. They've taken 23,000 people to sea, 9,000 people with physical disabilities, and 3,500 wheelchair users have had a chance to have their own tall ships adventure.
Yes, I think Tenacious speaks of what sail training and tall ships are all about, and I think it was summed up very well by the doctor a few minutes ago. I think, 30 years ago, if someone had told an ancient mariner that someday people who are handicapped would be able to be on board a ship like that, they would have probably thought they were crazy, because, but it just shows how anything is possible. Tenacious was the winner of a special trophy put out by the Sail Training Association. She won the Tall Ships World Peace Cup, which has been given since 1988, and it's based on a point system. Each ship is judged on 12 categories, and there are 12 trophies, and Tenacious